Hey everyone, just want to talk today about the Christ letters again because this weekend what was mentioned in the Christ letters is that we are the potter and consciousness is the clay. We are the potter and consciousness is the clay. So if you go to been in church in a while like me, you're gonna be like, no way, how is that? How is that? God is the potter, we are the clay. No. The whole time we are the potter because we create our reality. And we create our reality through our consciousness, through our awareness of who we are, of who we are. Knowing that whatever we think about with thoughts and emotions, that's what we experience in our lives. Whatever we put our emotions into, that's what we or put our everything into. That's what we experience. So everything we're going through in this world, we're creating it through our consciousness. And that's the clay that makes that's the clay that makes our reality. That's the clay. We are the potter. We are the potter. So through electricity, magnetism, you hear me talk about that a lot. Masculine, feminine, father, mother, God. So when we talk father, mother, God, those are the things we refer to. Those are the truths of our existence. Within us, the lives that universal consciousness. Within this body that you're looking at lives that universal consciousness. And that, so we, just like the universal consciousness that we call Father, Mother, God, we call it electricity, magnetism, we call it masculine, feminine, deep within us. And you may call it God, you may call it Jehovah, you may call it Allah, whatever you want to call it. That's that universal consciousness within us. That's what allowing us to be creators. Wherever we find ourselves today, you have to remember, wherever we find ourselves today, you have to remember that it's us. It's us. It's us. And if you hear this message today, you have the ability, if things not going well for you, remember, you're the potter. We have to walk around and remind ourselves that we are the potter. So at any time, you can change your reality. You can change your reality. Um, but you have to remember, you can't change your reality if you don't change your mindset. You have to change your mindset. And what do I mean by that? You can't still thinking, you can't, that God is outside of you. If you don't believe anything that I just said to you, that within you, you have a soul, and within that soul, and my spirit, I think my higher self trying to explain to me what the soul is the soul is the physical. I would more say higher self because it's showing me that the soul is encompass our physical, this visible aspect of us, and our spiritual aspect of us, um, who we are. So I'm gonna say our higher self. That within our higher self, within our higher self, um, there's embodied our Creator inside of us, inside of me, inside of you. Our Creator lives within there. So if you hear this message and you be like, no, no, deep ministry, I'm not the potter. I'm not creating all this lack. I'm not creating all this disease. Yes, you are. You are. No, you probably necessarily didn't think about getting a certain disease or getting a certain lack, but your mindset. We talk about the ego. Christ talk about the ego. The ego is is the biggest part of where we find ourselves, because the that aspect of us, the ego, this reality, this reality that we live in this world is set up to appease the ego. And in order for us to understand the creators we are, we can't get rid of our ego. So if you hear anybody telling you get rid of your ego, we can't, because it's a natural part of us where it comes with us as an individuality to identify us, like the tree right here. That's the ego, that's the its individuality. And if you, I'm not going to go over it today, but you could follow my channel. I talk a lot about the ego. But the ego in itself, because this is where the ego strives. This is what Christ talked about, that we're in the world, but we're not of the world. We have to renew our mind. We have to allow our higher self to take control over the ego. We can't be living in our ego. And what do I mean by living in our ego? The me, the I. It's me, satisfy me, it's I. Get anything selfish, anything um, you hold on too tightly to. That's your ego. You have to understand when your ego is in control. Your ego always seeks to defend you, and it doesn't necessarily have to do that. But that's what it's do. So you have to put that ego under submission. And the more your true self, your soul increase, the more your soul increase, the ego decrease. So it so what you can't understand that you are the potter if you're in your ego. And if you're still I don't know what that is. And if you're still thinking that God is outside of you, you can't understand that you're the potter. If you're saying, oh, Jesus will help me, you can't understand that you're the potter. You have to raise your consciousness vibrational energy. You have to raise that to understand that you're a potter. That you have to understand this, you, what you see in the mirror, you is you are your own universe. You control everything that goes on in this body. Nothing outside of you doesn't affect it unless you allow it to. So anything, if you're anything going on in your life, you can change it anytime you choose, by understanding that that which gives you being lives within you. The kingdom of God is within you. That's what Christ tells us. The kingdom of God lives within. And if you understand that, then you understand that you are the potter. You are the potter. You are the potter, and your awareness that you use to create your reality is the clay. So you want blessing? You make sure through your thoughts and emotions, you feel it, you believe it, you have faith that it's going to happen. You want healing? You believe it. Through your thoughts and your emotions, you believe it. All right. So you might be saying, I tried this. Yes, I want to believe on it. Listen, we have our higher selves, we have our guides. This thought is so hard to control because listen, you wake up in the morning, you turn on the television, you turn on the phone, you're seeing um everything coming on this phone everywhere, out to appease your ego, out to constantly live in your ego. Especially, let me mention some of them. When you turn on the television, the first thing are the, let's say, social media platforms. You're seeing, oh, this morning, um, just some divisive stuff, divisive stuff. That's playing to our ego. We see, oh, you have to separate yourself from this so and so. That's playing to our ego. All these things you see, oh, Trump will give you this, Kamala's gonna do it. Believe it or not, that's playing to our ego because Trump and Kamala can't do anything for you. So everything, most of the things you see here, it's just playing to our ego, and we have to turn that around by understanding that we are our own universe. We are the potter. Our awareness, what we're aware of, our consciousness, our mind is the clay, and you can use this, make this consciousness into anything you want. Use this consciousness to your ability. This consciousness, this divine consciousness that comes from your creator. That's who you are. You know, we sing the song, I am the potter, you're the clay, mold me and make me to your will. It's in your hands. It's in your hands to make the reality you want. You want to change this world, you have it in your hands. You want blessing, you have it in your hands. You are the potter. Your consciousness, what you're aware of, is the clay. And that clay comes from your creator, that which you call God. That clay comes from your father and your mother consciousness. That which gave you being. That's what that this clay is so powerful. You can't have it. You can't have it more than this. This is like giving you a gold. This is like giving you a pearl. This is the kingdom of heaven. Use this consciousness. Use this consciousness to create the world you want to live in. There's no other way. There's no one coming to save us. We already have the power in our hands. Why is someone coming to save us? Last night I got the dream, and my mother and I was saving so many people that need saving. And when we got to certain people, that's just something in our head. I can't see who it was, and it'd be like that person said, "No, they're old enough. They should know better." So if this message find you, this is your chance to understand who you are. So if you hear me today and you're still believing Jesus is coming to save you and Jesus is going to do everything for you, you can't tap into this, what I'm saying today. This is the time when you take responsibility for who you are. This is the time when you look in the mirror and see that you control everything from now on that's going to happen to you. It's you. You're creating your reality unconsciously. You're using what I'm saying to create your reality. No, if that way you're creating your reality is not working for you, turn it around. Turn it around. You just not aware that you're creating, you're being the potter by creating your sickness and your disease and your lack. That's what you're doing. You're using consciousness in the opposite direction. Use it in the correct direction. Understand who you are. Understand Everything lives within. Understand that your mind is powerful. That's your consciousness, but you get from your source of your being, that you got from the kingdom of God within you, that you get from universal consciousness, that you get from your creator. So tap into that power, because you're using it anyway. You're using it and causing havoc in your life and the world at large. So this is this message today. Um, and don't think I come with this message. It was an eye opener for me too. I never saw it like that. So join me on Saturdays. Join Deep Ministry on Saturdays as we continue to read the Christ letters and get more revelation of ourselves. This is the time everything is about us, nothing outside of us. With it, you want change in your marriage, you want change in your children, you want change in your community. Look at the man in the mirror. It starts with us. Starts with us. So be blessed, everyone. God bless you all.